are you?
Good, thanks.
Maybe start out with a 49ers specific question. Bosa on the edge.
Yes, nightmare. Yeah, great player, generational player, speed, power, all of it. So definitely an issue and definitely a concern regarding, we have to make sure that we don't let him ruin the game for us because he is that type of rusher.
And then you sort of couple it with the personnel situation that you're mentioning at left tackle. How much does that sort of dictate how you approach it?
For sure. It drives a lot of it, for sure, especially when it comes to pass game and how we protect against him. So you got to be creative, have to have multiple ways of doing it, and it's something I've dealt with in the past, and there's ways to get it done, and it's going to be a group effort, and it's going to take a lot of energy to make sure we block him in pass protection.
How do you try to balance maybe giving whoever's playing tackle some help versus getting as many options into their routes to get the ball up?
Yeah, that's part of the scheme. Have to be multiple in that regard and do it a lot of different ways. But when you drop back, you definitely have to note where he is and account for him.
Jacoby was saying yesterday that you guys have done some self-scouting on play accuracy, which run plays might be able to use play action. Guys. How's that going, and do you agree with his assessment that you guys have worked on that so much?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something we do every week. We don't put the run action, play action, pass game together until we put the run game together, and try to marry it off of that. That's always the way we've game planned here, and that'll be the way we go forward.
With protection issues that you're facing, obviously with the injuries, is it ever realistic to say in some situations maybe you want to read this low to high instead of high to low? Because I know by nature you are aggressive offense.
Yeah, and I think the thing for the way you approach the game as a quarterback is this is a get the ball out of your hand week. And we're going to have to obviously hold the ball on third downs and push it down the field, but at the same time, there is a bit of that. Let's get it out of our hands and get it into our guys' hands and let them go with it after that. But again, that's a whole schematic philosophy on how you have to deal with an elite pass rusher.
Teams are being pretty aggressive against you guys when you're under center, like blitzing and stuff like that. Jacoby said you guys are working on some things to kind of combat that. Not giving too much away.
Sure. I mean, when you get under center, we have a tendency to run the football right now, which is good, and those pressures are more of a run-stopping pressure, so we have to be able to handle those with our play actions and run actions. There's a lot of different schemes that you can implement that'll take care of some of those pressures.
Does Jacoby go on when he sees pressure coming? Does he have the ability to check out certain things and kind of handle it?
Absolutely. There are checks all through the course of the game, whether it be protection checks or run checks, that we have handled issues for pressure, that we can handle them that way through him getting us into a right play. And he always has the green light at any time to protect himself if he sees something that we weren't expecting. He has a green light to change the protection, change the play, and everything. He's a guy we liked going into training camp. We liked him from his performance last year on tape. We evaluated him coming in and liked the player a lot, liked the guy a lot, and I think just getting him back in the mix and hopefully continue to get him healthier as the week goes and will be a bonus for us in addition. Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for these guys to be the next man up. Coming in and learning the new techniques of the way we protect the passer on the edge is something that they'll continue to get better at as the season goes on. But really, it's a next man up mentality. I know they haven't been here for very long, but it's time to go.
Alex, just a philosophical question: does a quarterback have to adapt to your offense, or do you adapt the offense to suit the quarterback?
Yeah, we adapt everything to the skill set of our players. If a guy's a run-and-shoot quarterback, he'll play in a run-and-shoot system for us. We can build it around him. If you have two great running backs, then you're going to be in a system where you run the football. But the quarterback is always the one we think about first when we game plan, and that will always evolve to be around what's best suited for that quarterback that's playing.
When it comes to some of Ramondre's ball security issues over the first year, how does that conversation go with him? He's a guy who's been in the league for a while, has a track record, but when it comes to something like that, you sit him down, you talk to him, what's that like?
It's like yelling at your child. You feel like you love the guy and he does the right thing the majority of the time, but it's an issue. You got to sit it down and address him. And he's more embarrassed by it than anybody else. So he's a prideful guy. He does great things for us in the run game. You just got to hold on that ball, and he knows it. He'd be the first one to tell you.
Alex, quarterback's going to take some hits as the season goes
Yeah, it's rough, and I mean, thank God he's a sturdy, big guy. He's tough as nails. He always gets up. Doesn't look like it sometimes, but he's tough. Would obviously love to take the hits off of him, but he's a guy that can stand in there, and he's built to take it. He's got, big bone guy with a big lower half that can stand in there and take it. Don't want him to take him, obviously, but hopefully we can clean up the protection issues as we move forward and keep him cleaner.
Alex, when it comes to protection issues related to communication or lack thereof, other than the repetition of the same 5 guys being out there, which you have had the luxury of,
Yeah.
what can you and Scott do in concert to try to improve those areas?
Sure, I think the biggest thing is just understanding the assignments. We let some guys run free, and we shouldn't have free runners in certain situations last week, and that's just a matter of just getting the reps over and over again, showing them those reps in practice, make sure we're making the right calls and doing the right things within the protection schemes, and then just getting better in pass protection overall. And I think we'll just continue to grow. Our goal is to get better every week. I know it's week 4 now going into it. Hopefully in week 8, you'll see big improvements from our offense as we move forward. But it's we're building to grow and looking for just continued development and continued growth offensively.
Coaches, the 70-30 split, I know it's a lot to clarify, like obviously Drake's getting more work as well as scout team and second team. But is it difficult to sort of serve the 2 masters and try to get the one guy ready while also getting the other guy ready and also develop?
Sure. No, it's a fine line. It definitely is. For me, it's all about the Sunday game, the starter. Like, I feel like that guy's got to get every opportunity he can. At the same time, you want to develop and bring Drake along. So it's a fine line of deciding what has Jacoby had 1,000 reps in, that maybe he doesn't need this rep in practice, that we can get Drake some growth there and give him that rep. If it's something that new that's in the system that week, it's a new play, then obviously we're not going to be able to get Drake that rep. So it's finding the fine line of what we've had a ton of reps in and what we feel comfortable taking away from Jacoby to give to Drake. But both are ultimately important.
How has Drake looked in practice?
Really good. Yeah, no, he's continuing to grow. I think the game experience the other night will only help him, moving forward. But the plan's in place, and I think we're starting to see him starting to grow on the practice field as well.
Was there anything tonight considering how many hits Jacoby had taken and maybe some of like the offensive line depth that you guys were having?
No, at that point, felt like the best thing for him was to get him in there and get him some snaps.
Alex, with sort of 3 games into being the primary play caller, just checking in on still like being on the sideline, like are you feeling
Yep.
like that's the best? And what have you learned? I know you've done it
Yeah.
before, but what have you
Yeah.
learned through 3 games that maybe you couldn't have known from
You learn in every game. I've taken something out of every game I've had the opportunity to call and learn from it. I go back to the Oakland game I got to call in Cleveland during the COVID years. I wish I would not run the ball on 3rd and 4 from a heavy personnel grouping. I wish it's the little things like that you learn from, and you just bank all that information away. I mean, last week I said earlier that I should have maybe stuck with the run harder earlier, and that's something I'll grow from and get better from. I mean, again, for me, it's growth and improvement as well as the season goes on. Absolutely sideline. Yeah, that's the only way I've seen the game for the last 30 years. So when I go up, it's stagnant, and I don't like that. I like to be on the sideline.
Your final question, John. Your final question.
I'm sorry?
Try to be sort of behind the quarterback when you're on the side.
Yeah, I always try to stand 10 yards behind and kind of see how everything operates from a side view. All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.